The selected verse from the Bible, known as the weekly verse, serves as a kind of headline for each new week. It can help one reflect on, consider or find inspiration in a specific aspect throughout the week. This week's verse is a prayer from the Old Testament, Psalm 130. It is one of the so-called penitential psalms. The one praying turns to God in deep distress, asking for mercy and forgiveness. The prayer begins with a cry from the depths. These depths symbolize not only physical suffering but also the spiritual distance from God that can result from sin and guilt. The one praying acknowledges their own weakness and dependence on God's grace. It is the admission that without God a person is lost, both morally and existentially. This is followed by the prayer for mercy. The one praying shows that they do not rely on their own actions, but hope in God's mercy. They emphasize that no one could stand before God if he were to strictly account for sins. But the central message is God forgives, and it is this forgiveness that enables reverence for Him. This forgiveness leads the one praying into a renewed relationship with God. As the psalm progresses, the tone shifts from despair to hope and trust. The one praying waits for the Lord, much like a watchman waits for the morning, a powerful image that illustrates how intense this waiting and hoping is. Despite the darkness, the one praying knows that God's mercy will come as surely as the morning. The reflection for the week is, with you there is forgiveness, that you may be feared. This passage in the ancient prayer is the central turning point between personal despair and that which one can know only place all hope upon. I don't know how deep you have been in your life, or maybe right now, but one thing I have experienced it in my life. I cannot pull myself out of the mire. I need help. I need the God who can pull me out of the depths. That is why I turn to Him. And I'm also afraid because I can only hope that He will be merciful to me. But this fear turns into reverence for Him because He helps. I live later than the one praying in ancient times, and I know about His Son Jesus Christ. He too descended into the depths and waited until God raised Him from the dead. No one can fall deeper, no one can be more desperate, and yet it becomes very clear here, this God leaves no one alone, not Him, not me, and not you either. Yes, it is true. With God there is forgiveness, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. You, God of all time, help your children again and again, no matter where they are, even in the deepest distress. They have in you a faithful and confident companion. I thank you that you forgive, and I honor you with all that I have and all that I am. Amen.